Okay, welcome back. I hope you have been able to follow the previous method that I used to find the factors of 165. Now, what is this HCF thing? Well, HCF stands for the highest common factor. Now, that means you need the biggest number that can go into both 210 and 165. Now, if you notice 210, obviously we found the factors, and 165 is the task that I gave you to do. So let's bring back the factors of 210. There they are. And let's confirm what you found as far as 165 is concerned. Let us see if you did this correctly. Again, you would have started and said 165 divided by 1. That is obviously 165. You should know by now that 165 is an odd number, so there's no need to try 2. So I will try 3, and sorry, it's 165 divided by 3. Let's just neaten that a little bit. 165 divided by 3, that is actually a 55. No even number will really go into 165. So just when an even number comes, just omit it. And obviously then that means the next thing that we're going to try is a 5, and that gives us a 33. Is there need to try 6? Not at all. Okay, so we're going to continue, and there's no need to try 10. Then we will try 11, and when we try 11, we get 15. Okay, let's continue moving and see what comes up. I'm sure if we try 15, we're gonna get something. And guess what? 15 will actually give us 11 because of that relationship. So now you stop. Okay, now let us mark the factors of 165. It is 1 and 165. It is 3 and 55. It is 5 and 33. It is 11 and 15. Now, let us check. Before we decide on the highest common factor, let us first write down the common factors. In other words, let us write down factors that appear for both 165 and 210. Obviously, 1 is one of them, but 2 is not. 3 will be the second, okay? After that, we will have 5 going into both, but 6 does not, neither does 7, and unfortunately 10 does not go, and the next that comes in is 15. And that appears, remember, it must appear in both, okay? So it turns out that actually this is the full list of factors that appear in both. Look at this. Here is 1 and 1. Here is 3 and 3. Here is 5 and 5. And we have established that the next thing that will happen is a 15. So here is 15 and there is a 15. So now, having listed common factors, obviously you want to pick the highest number, and excuse me, that highest number is the number 15. All right. So that is the story of highest common factors. Okay. There is obviously a quicker way to do this. There is actually a quicker way to do this, and that is to use what they call prime factorization. But not everyone gets that. So I will try and use the methods that are most basic and understandable to most people. Let us do now this one that requires the first 10 multiples of 20. What are multiples? Multiples are just a product of or maybe let me put it this way. When you look for multiples of a certain number, it means you must just take that number, multiply it by what? Natural numbers, from the very first natural number and on and on. Remember, natural numbers never end. You're just going to keep counting up to infinity until. So the first 10, that means find out what happens when you multiply 20 by 1, by 2, by 3, by 4, by 5, by 6, by 7, by 8, by 9, and by 10. And these will be your first 10 multiples. So I will leave that to you, and you will write down the answer. And guess what? You will do the very same thing with the first 10 multiples of 25. Once you have answered this question, look at the next question there. The next question asks you to now find the LCM. Now, this is the lowest common multiple. In other words, you're going to compare this list with this list here. 25 times 1, 25 times 2, 25 times 3, up until 25 times 10. Now, what are you going to take? The lowest number, the smallest number that appears in this list and that list. It must be common. Remember, that is the main important thing there. The number must be common. Now, when you have done that, guess what? You're going to do the same thing with 15 and 25. List the first few multiples of 15 and then list the first few multiples of 25 and see when do you start having the common things here. Okay, so go on, try this. I'm pretty much sure that you will get there. I want you to win. I want you to understand this, because when you're in the exam, you will be doing this on your own. So I have given you the guideline. I've explained to you how to go about it. Give it a try. Cheers.